My name is Emily Glickman, and I'm a senior studio arts major. And this is my studio. For my IS, I decided that I wanted to create my own culture, which is a very large task to take on. But basically what that means is I'm taking influence from already existing cultures, picking and choosing kind of motifs or forms or kind of themes that were personally significant or just stood out to me, as well as just things that I've created for my own head and blending those all together to make like a material culture for something that never existed. I had always been interested in very, very old things, antiquities, those kinds of like ancient artifacts that you might see at a museum that you might not necessarily fully understand. And I was also interested in exploring kind of the ambiguity that you have when you go into a museum, you see something like this, and you really have absolutely no idea what it means to you and to the people who found it. So I was interested in exploring that connection that you have between the past and then when it's mediated through all of these being found, being taken out of its original context, and being placed in this very kind of almost sterilized environment. And how that, what I mostly wanted to look at is how I, as the artist and my viewer, can relate to these things. So this culture never, like, this didn't actually ever exist. It exists now because I made it, but there's no history behind it. There's nothing, there's no real people, like no one was really loving or dying or fighting or anything like that. I was interested in kind of understanding what, for me, it meant to be part of a community. I feel a lot of times there's a tendency to oversimplify kind of whatever you're seeing in a museum. I mean, a lot of times you're seeing like a vessel, a pot, and you have no idea what it was used for, but for someone that was something that they used every day, maybe in their kitchen. And a lot of that's just lost. So what I was trying to do was kind of regain that connection while hoping that my viewers can kind of feel that as well, or if they don't, kind of think about why they don't feel it and how they can relate to this object. For the most part, these are all kind of what would be considered grave goods, kind of things, anything that you could think of that you'd want to bring to the afterlife with you. So ceremonial vessels, incense burners for the crypt, various liquid holders. I'm actually working on a horse-shaped jar right now. You can't actually see its form, but so this is worked using the coil technique. Really, just like when I'm doing this, I'm kind of thinking about what would these people have deemed important enough to bring to eternity, and what they would like to look at for eternity. So every time I'm making something, I'm really thinking about making it look beautiful, because you'll see in most historical records, even when in our mind we're just thinking that people are just doing things to survive and not making things to be aesthetically pleasing, most of the time you'll find that they are making things that are beautiful to them, because humans just have a natural tendency, an inclination to be around beautiful things. IS is such an intensely personal project. It's been very informative, but also very difficult process, especially for an artist. I mean, you could say the same for anyone in any major, but it's really your inner self that you're putting out there for everyone else. And I don't know, it's been really difficult kind of pushing for what you think and you know is right for your own particular IS and wanting it to be the best work that you've ever done. Like, I don't think I've ever cared about any work as much as I have for IS. And it's been a really informative experience for me as an artist, but also, more importantly, as a human who's about to graduate and start on her own life, you know.